Hello folks, it's A Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. The 2020 Porsche 718 Cayman T, according to Car and Driver, it simmers in excellence. The new Cayman T. Some of Porsche's best ingredients at an attractive price. Produce a rewarding, pure driving experience. If the Mazda Miata is a perfect starter sports car, then a Cayman T is the perfect starter Porsche. For some people, it might be the perfect Porsche, period. Now, Car and Driver spent some quality time with the new T, and they said we can imagine the owner being perfectly satisfied with the simple goodness and not aspiring to one of the Porsche's more powerful and expensive sports cars. But we could have told you that after a little more than a drive around the block, that this T is that good. It has vivid steering feel, brilliantly balanced handling, and the right mix of standard beautiful equipment. The Cayman T had just gone on sale in the United States. Late 2020 model, joining 4 other Porsche variants, the mid-engine 718 Coupe lineup, the base Cayman GTS 4.0, and the GT4. For open air enthusiasts exclusively, there's now the Boxster T as well. Porsche reminds us of a master chef who finds ways to concoct multiple compelling dishes for many of the same simple quality ingredients. The T is the company's latest delicacy, a combination of several flavorful condiments from the Cayman near limitless option list. It's a low-cost dish too, low cost by Porsche standards, that you could almost duplicate by ordering the options separately. Here's the recipe. Start with a base Cayman and standard 300 horsepower turbocharger, 2.0 liter flat 4, and a 6-speed manual transmission, and the PASM sport suspension, which includes adaptive dampers, lower the car by 0.8 inches, mix it in the mechanical limited slip differential, 20-inch 911 Carrera S wheels, and a sports chrono package. Garnish with blackened tailpipes, black rear deck badging, a smaller diameter GT sports steering wheel, and the optional sports seats with a tacky look fabric, and add all the above to a standard Cayman, and it'll cost you about $3,000 more than the T's $67,750 base price. And still you won't quite have a T. Only the T comes with the wheels painted in a spiffy titanium gray, plus matching side view mirrors and low body T decals. That confirm you've got a specially cooked up Porsche. The T also gets the 718 stitch into the headrest, as well as a GT4 model's short throw shifter. And the awkward to use pull straps. In place of the interior door handles. Now the car that you see here in Car and Driver, they had to tack on another $4,820 in options, including the navigation, dual zone automatic climate control, auto dimming mirrors, Apple CarPlay, seat heaters, and a larger fuel tank, which brought the tested price to $72,570. Now the lows is the petulant exhaust note, the silly interior door, pull straps. Why can the Cayman still have flat sixes? Now keeping with the basic nature of the T, we jettison all the extra say and save for the bun rummers, $530. Don't need that after all. Loading this car with extras negates its reason for being. With this ground-hugging stance and the Pirelli P0 PZ4 summer tires, the two 35R20s in front and two 65-35R20s at the rear, and an unadorned Cayman T is simple, tasteful, and purposeful. And the simplicity is purposefulness that makes it such a joy in the digital world. It is said that the T drives like an analog machine. Aside from its digital gauge cluster and the center stack screen, the interior is straightforward. And it looks a beast, folks. Look at that. The materials are basic, the sports seats are deeply pocketed, and the steering wheel is free of buttons and switches, except for the important drive mode dial, 3 paddles on the floor, and a stubby shifter between the seats. You fire it up, inserting a key fob into the ignition switch, located left of the steering wheel. Porsche tradition and twisting. Indeed, the cabin could almost be from an earlier era of the Porsche history. The driving experience, however, is fully up to the current Porsche sports car standards, which means the T feels wonderfully connected to the road, communicative and pure, and simple quality. There's even some of the 414 horsepower Cayman GT4 in the way the T moves. It doesn't quite tear toward the apexes with the racy aggression of the track-oriented GT4, a car that starts at $100,550, but is definitely tied to the family. It slices through corners with crispy, progressive steering that feeds back clear messages to the driver. The chassis is balanced and forgiving. Go ahead and shut off the stability control and play a little. If the tail steps out in the slow corner, it's because you are half-fisted with your inputs, and the slide is gradual enough to correct with the flick of a wheel. The brakes are a perfect blend of pedal feel and response. While the T can't match the GT4 for sheer performance, it comes impressively close. The T hits 60 miles per hour in 4.4 seconds to the GT4 3.7 seconds run. The T circles skid pad at 1.01 G of lateral grip versus the GT4 1.10 G, the latter aided by the larger Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 track tires. And the T 149-foot stop from 70 miles per hour is just a foot longer than the GT4. Of course, horsepower will ultimately win out, and the T falls behind the GT4 at the quarter-mile mark, 0.9 seconds and 10 miles per hour. The gap widens until the T levels off at a claimed 170 miles per hour. The GT4 goes up to 188. Now that you're thinking about these disparities in piloting the Cayman T, it rides with unexpected suppleness, and its shifter is a precision instrument. Only the flatulent burble of the Subaru-like exhaust note at low engine revs break the spell. Though the flat 4 does sound more engaging as it nears the 7,400 RPM red line, it pulls through the top half of its range strongly. But you will notice a distinct lag in the thrust between 3,000 RPMs, while the single turbo spools up to a full 19.0 psi of the boost. Twisting the steering wheel mode dial to the sports setting helps offset the low RPM laziness with quicker initial throttle. This car is amazing, folks. In normal mode, with a lower idle speed, the clutch take-up requires more finessing than car and driver would like. Beyond the nostalgia for the days when all the Caymans, not just the most expensive two, belted out flat 6 ballets, we have nothing negative to say about the T. Sure, you can have a 495 horsepower Corvette C8 with a Z51 package and adaptive dampers for nearly $1,000 less than the base Cayman. However, the C8, they're basically sold out. You're not going to get one. But the Cayman T has a flavor all of its own. It's perfect entry point to everything that's delicious about Porsche sports cars. A starter model so good you won't be hungry for more. That's according to Car and Driver. And this is A Automotive Reviews. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing and thanks for liking. What an awesome Porsche. If no one told you today that you are fantastic, awesome, and thanks for coming to the channel, and thanks for being a part of the AO family.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.